I've been watching a lot of videos thinking about things. And it's not that fun when, people whom I don't want to watch me, which just sucks, but who cares, one day hopefully I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So I don't have to hear that type of stuff. Not drinking, saving money on alcohol. I'm gonna see how much money my mom's actually gonna give me. She said she's gonna be giving me $50 a day to see how long I can do without alcohol. And I'm gonna see how long she's gonna be actually doing it for me. If I'm not getting the money, I'm gonna drink because I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna be getting drunk, but I'm gonna be drinking when I want to. Because it's like, okay, what's the incentive? If you get money by not drinking, I mean, yeah, the incentive is to get the money. But if you don't get the money, you might as well drink when you want to. I'm not saying I will be getting drunk all the time, but you know what I mean. I'll be drinking when I want to, and I'm not gonna care. That's all. Sometimes it could be once a week, sometimes it could be twice a week, sometimes it could be 40, sometimes it could be tall boy. But anyway, let's just switch the subject because this video is not really about that. I want to talk about other things on top of that as well. Like, for example, I've been watching this Russian psychologist talking about a woman and showing woman, no, I'm not a prostitute, and then talking about the woman who had body count of 134. I mean, that's a lot of partners, but then again, if you think about it, right, compare it to my, like, 15, 16, whatever. Okay. So first 14 women, it's like probably 50 or 54 times. Like, let's say that person's 134, right? Out of that, okay, let's say maybe like most of it was one night stands. Maybe 7 men, that was like rape, right? So that's 127 minus one night stand, so that's 122. Now, you have 122, and with me, this 14 women, I had probably like, I was counting before, it was, let's say, 54 times. Let's even 52 to make it easier. So 122 minus 52, okay, 70 times. Okay. Now, if I had a woman and I started doing it like, let's say, August of 2013, and let's say I was doing it, I'm gonna say, once a week. It's 52 times a year. By the time 2015 came up, I'm already like, had the same amount of, sex as somebody who had like one night stands with like 120 women, right? Just by having regular sex with one person once a week. I already caught up with all the one night stands of somebody with high body count. Okay? Already the same amount. Now, if that person was like in a weird relationship, let's say relationships, it's like 2 or 3 more years equal of sex, like, once a week. Okay, so I already like beat that person when it comes to amount of it. I just had it with less partners, that's all. So the moral of the story is that shit don't matter. It only matters if, like, okay, let's say you've been with a lot of people, you don't know who these people are, maybe you have like STDs or something, but if you've been with one person, it's the same amount of sex, maybe even more, and plus you cleaner, no STDs, no problems, but there's only one advantage there. If you've been with one person, it's like, or not a lot of people, whatever, you've been not with a lot of people. It's like maybe you not been with a lot of people because as a man, you cannot get girls. So the only woman you can get is just like by being lucky like me at some point, or by paying for sex, you know? Otherwise, I won't get anybody because most of the women, they don't want me and I don't care really because like I'm all by myself and I'm happy about it, you know? But I mean, I can say that I'm a little bit, you know, at the disadvantage because I know that if, let's say, if a woman like Lydia gonna go to the club, she's gonna look pretty and it's easy for her to, you know, get a man. She looks pretty, the man buy her drinks, give her drugs. That's it. And she's not happy, oh, I want something serious, don't want it. But then I'm looking at that woman like, okay, if I have that information and I know about it, right? Like I keep telling you guys. If I know about that, I don't want to spend too much money on her because I'm looking at it like, okay, other men, they don't spend a lot of money on her in order to fuck her. Why should I? Why should I do things for her? Right? Especially her being fucking pain in the ass. Right? Like why? And then invest more and get less. To me, I'm looking at it from my accounting perspective. Like she's not in a good investment, okay? Because she's pain in the ass and I have to do a lot to get not a lot. So what do I need to do to get more pleasure and less pain? Treat her like a sex slave because that's the only thing which she showed she's good for. Keep telling you, that's it, you know, that's just it. That's why I'm saying, if I would be her man, like in real life, I would expect to do it on the first date. And when you show me, oh, she had so many partners, more than I expected, it's not going to be the question of, should I have a sex on the first date, the second, the third date, or fifth date? It should be the second. If you're going to see each other, are you going to the men's restroom or female's restroom? That's all. Because, I mean, I'm not putting up with shit. You gave me so much pain, so many minuses. So, you need to give me compensation. I demand my compensation. You know? Because it has to be give and take balance. That's all. That's just the bottom line. And all the other shit is fucking irrelevant, you know? That's just it. Simple. I don't even need to know all these fucking details. I don't even fucking care. I mean, I would like to know because it's interesting, but it's not something I'm gonna really care about. You know? If I want to be with a woman like that. I would just close my eyes on that type of stuff, really. As long as I'm gonna be happy with her. But if she's pain in the ass, and fuck that, you know. That goes for the second point. And the third thing, and my favorite is, ta-dam, ta-dam! Life is overrated 96. The most important. This is like all about, he's talking about shit which is really important. Not drinking, not sex, not masturbation, but he's talking about freedoms, just like I do. So in his last video, he was talking about like how he doesn't like that, you know, that people telling him, oh, you're being a smart ass, you shouldn't be like that, you shouldn't show off, whatever. You can't get mad. See, when he talks about that, he's like talking about me. And I'm like, why not? So I need to be a societal slave. I need to play that card and be and act how people want me to be and act. Or else I'm gonna get fired for everywhere and everybody's gonna beat me up, right? So that's exactly why before, when I was young, I wanted to build myself up. So I can be big and strong, so if people giving me shit, I don't take shit from people. And that's why I want to get a gun. You know? And that's why I was always thinking a lot that if people not gonna leave me alone and give me the job, and they're not gonna shut the fuck up and let me act how I want and do what I want, as long as, of course, you know, I'm doing the job. I mean, I understand that at work you have to work, right? Like if you come to work and you're not doing shit, I mean the boss have the whole right to bitch at you, yell at you. He's nothing wrong for that. Okay, but if let's say you cannot do the job as good as other people do and you don't want to get fired and you want people to have mercy on you, you need to get some kind of leverage. You need to start like manipulating people, threatening people to get that leverage so you can have an opportunity to build yourself up, so you can do the job and do it on your terms and not get fired, okay? But you still have to work hard, but you need to position yourself in a way where you have that autonomy, you have that freedom, so you'll be like, okay, what needs to be done? So you can have your own solution, so you can do your job on your terms. Not do anything, but do whatever works for you. And you don't have to be stressed out because you cannot please other people. See? Like you still have to work hard, but working hard on your own terms. Doing whatever works for you. Having that understanding, life is about going to work, but being yourself and having the opportunity to solve problems your own way without listening to fucking constant insults and criticism. See? That's kind of freedom I'm talking about. But still working hard though, And sometimes, you have to make some sacrifices. Like if you can't do the job to the par, and people know that you don't want to get fired, so people can manipulate you financially, like give you a little bit less money or take more taxes or whatever. You have to be deal with it. You have to understand it, It is what it is. You have to get less and work more, which just sucks because I hate that. That's why I hate the fact that I'm not big and strong. Because of that, I have to do more and get less. Like, for example, big and strong guy, if he wants to fuck woman like Lydia, for example, he can just get her drunk and fuck her. Me, I have to listen to all kinds of insults and bullshit if I want to be with a bitch like that. Because I'm an inferior man. But I don't like to be inferior man, So, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. If I want to be with a woman like that, and I know that other men having sex with her within an hour of meeting her, and I don't, I'm looking at myself like I'm a lesser man than they are. That's just how I think, So, and I don't like to feel that way. So that's why, if I want to be in a relationship with a woman like that, that's how I would feel. Now, do I want to be in a relationship with a woman like that? Yes and no. I like the passion. I like the variety. It's like we fall in love through imagination. So it's like, she kind of triggered that in me. That's why, I have value in her. And also I have value in her because I consider her as actually an interesting person. I was actually interested in her, as an individual, even when I was not even sexually attracted to her at all. I really like talking to her when she was saying things about her life, about her boyfriends, things like that. I actually like her as a friend before, But her downside, like I said, it's dealing with her. Her being pain in the ass. Quitting jobs. Giving me problems. Guilt tripping. Insulting. Playing sick. See? This is called being pain in the ass. She was making me feel like I want to fucking beat the crap out of her when she was doing that. And I didn't like that, so. So that was a big problem right there. And I didn't even hurt her, because I remember when I put my hands on her throat, I couldn't even squeeze it. Like, I mean, I could physically, because, I'm stronger than her, I would think, but I just didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to hurt her, but I remember how I was fucking angry at her when she started pretending being sick. I remember that day. I was so angry because I felt like she's bullshitting me. And I didn't trust her. And I didn't like the way she was acting. So see, things like that, that's like being pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with this shit. You know? Also going to psychologists because of me solving the problems. And I'm watching this video, so I'm like, damn. Compared to Alima, I can reconcile with her and figure out how to deal with her without any psychologists who are giving people advice and teach women how to be a woman. And she's like, nope, it doesn't work for me. Again, it all goes back to, who you are. It all goes back to that. Like, see, people can give you advice, right? And you know who you are, and you can say, you know what, okay, whatever advice you give me could be good advice, but it's just not working for me. Because it's not working for who you are as an individual. Like, for psychologists tell a woman needs should be this and this and this in order to get a man. A woman's watching, she's like thinking to herself, fuck that, I want to be myself. I don't like to be like that. It's so much not like me, It goes against my nature to act like this. So, if you act in certain way against your nature to be with some type of man, you need to understand that it's probably not the right person for you. Because if it is the right person for you, you should be able to be yourself around that person without having to pretend, So, if you feel like you have to pretend and all of that, it's a clear sign that you're not with the right person, or maybe you just got conditioned by life that you have to pretend. For example, like, see, my parents were telling me, you need to be certain way, not certain way, otherwise you're going to get fired from everywhere. So that's why I go to work. I get angry all the time because I know that if I'm going to say how I feel, I'm going to get fired. So I suppress myself. The same thing probably what she feels like. Oh, I need to suppress myself because if I don't, I'm not going to get a man. It's like some people may feel that way. And I get it, I completely get it. I want to have a man, and I'm willing to suppress myself just so I'm not going to be single. I'm willing to do anything. I'm going to be acting like I'm somebody else, have this superficial persona, because if I'm going to be myself, nobody's going to like me. I get it. It's like, I'm the same way. I feel like if I'm going to be myself at work, that's how I felt before. Now I don't care. But before I always was feeling that if I'm going to be myself at work, I'm going to get fired from everywhere. But I didn't like it. That's why, like, I was going to work always angry. So, and I felt that because of what my dad told me, how it is. See, again, society oppresses the individual. You have to be certain way and act certain way against your will, even if you don't agree with it. Because if you're gonna do what you truly want, what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna be beating you up. Everyone's gonna be firing you from everywhere you go. No girl's gonna wanna date you. Things like that, see? Nobody's gonna like you for who you are. So what's the next step? Get a gun, I guess. You know? Get a gun. I mean, it's still not gonna be, you're not gonna win like that. Because even if you're gonna shoot up the place, you're gonna either be dead or in jail. But, you know, people say like misery loves company. So if I'm miserable, I might as well make other people miserable before, you know, I pretty much cease to exist. You know, because like, hey, this misery loves company. I mean, it's good to be happy together, but then how can I be happy? What? To be happy to what? To be a slave? I cannot be happy to be a slave because happiness is freedom, you know. I'm not happy being a societal slave. I'm not happy to, you know, be forced into living how I don't want to live against my will. I'm not happy to be going everywhere thinking that everybody's going to be telling me how stupid I am because of the way I think or do things. How can I be happy about that, you know? Or people are telling me you cannot get angry, you cannot talk this way. It's not happiness for me. I was always thinking that, you know, if I was big and strong and somebody says something I don't like, I'm gonna punish other people, I'm gonna torture them, and I'm gonna feel good about myself, and I'm gonna give them pain because God made them better than me, and I'm supposed to be better than them, because in my mind I'm a fucking king, and everybody, they just like trash, subhumans. You know, like, that's the thing, like other people, they just shit. I look at them just like a fucking trash. I'm only kissing up to them because I want to survive and I want to get the money. But I'm looking at them as like fucking infidels, enemies who are oppressing me, taking away my freedoms, telling me that I shouldn't be like that, I shouldn't act like that, telling me what to do, how to act. Who these people are? They're pieces of shit. They're very oppressive, bad people. And the only reason why I cannot just fucking kill them all is because I'm weak. And if I was strong, somebody says something I don't like, I'm just gonna shoot them up. And no police is gonna do nothing about it because I'm a god, I have a right to do anything I want, everything I do is right, and anybody who thinks differently is a piece of shit. And they deserve to be exterminated, you know? They're just mistakes. And I'm just correcting them. Because I have a power to do so. See? That's just how I look at things. You know? And the only reason why I'm not doing such type of stuff, because I'm not big and strong enough to do that type of stuff. See? That's the only problem. That's the real problem. And of course, when people are hearing that type of stuff, they're gonna say, oh, you sick, ta. I mean, nah, I don't want to cure myself. Just like Life is Already 96 said, oh, people say you're depressed. Oh, people say you're narcissistic. People say you're showing off and you shouldn't be like that. Well, that's the main reason why I don't like to be around people. I just want to do the job to get by so I don't have to deal with them because people are making me angry, you know. I don't like to deal with them. I mean, exactly because of that. That's exactly the reason why I don't want to deal with people. You see? And that's a real problem. And of course, there are other things. You have to think not only, okay, when it comes to women, you have to think, okay, not just I like her, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy myself. No, you have to think, okay, what ethnicity she is, and other things. Will my parents like her? Will her parents like me? See, it's too much. It's too much. That's why I don't even want to introduce my woman to my parents. I remember even like when I had my first girlfriend, whom I kissed once, was my first kiss, 15 years ago. It was February 28th, 2009. I kissed the girl first time. It was my girlfriend. It was before I was paying for sex, before I met Todd, who told me about it. I used to have a girlfriend. And she was no sex before marriage. She was a little bit like Lydia, because she was very sensitive, just like her. And Lydia was reminding me of her a little bit. Except, of course, Lydia, she was like, more. I actually like Lydia better than her because she has a better mentality, but like she likes to travel and have fun, and she's open to have a quick sexual relationship with men, and she's passionate, Like in that regard, she's better than her. But she's just like sensitive as she was, literally. And I remember like one time I brought her to my parents' place because I used to live with my dad and my stepmom. I wanted to make sure that she's gonna be there when my parents are not around, because I did not want her to know my parents, and my parents were manipulating me out of the relationship with her. She was an American girl, and no sex before marriage, but she was also putting the work first. And she was driving the car. I didn't have a car, and she has an issue with that because I didn't have a car, and she had to drive me everywhere. And I had an issue with the fact that we were seeing each other once a week, because I was thinking that if you have a girlfriend, you should see each other every day and all of that, being kind of clingy. So it's like, I also had that idea before. I was thinking, if you have a girlfriend, you need to have sex all the time, kiss all the time, have fun, seeing each other all the time. That's what I thought too, when I came from Russia to America. But in reality, just like it's not how it works. But that's what I thought how a relationship between man and woman should be, But came to America, I realized that Christian people, no sex before marriage, no time to hang out, always working. And I didn't know how to act, so she thought that I was mean to her. And then on top of that, my parents were telling me that she doesn't see you very often, she probably doesn't like you. And I started believing them. But I didn't want to believe them, because, that's not how I want things to be. So I was thinking I'm wrong, they're right, but I didn't want them to be right. So I was always angry. I was taking anger out on her, and we pretty much broke up after 4 months. And she said we're not compatible. And I was going crazy when she was telling me that. Yep. And I really like her, She was not a Jewish woman, and I met her at the synagogue. She was like half Russian, half German. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'6". Yeah, all the women I've been with, they were like around my height. I've now been with a lot of girlfriends. Like girlfriends wise, shit, I only had 2 girlfriends in my life, really. I'm talking girlfriends. I'm not talking like, one night stands or, prostitute whom I sex with like 5 times. Or prostitute whom I was having sex for like 6 months, twice a month, for like $20. When our relationship, where I go there, give them $20, they feed me cranberry juice and some, I don't know, fucking pasta, whatever, and when we have sex, up and hot dogs. And then, I was trying to not to give them money. Well, and then I'm trying to see if they're gonna forget that I owe them money. Like one time, I remember I was having sex with that 57-year-old, and I didn't want to give her $20. So during sex, I was having sex with her. She was like, "Where is my money?" And and the money I was going to give her was in my pocket. And I was like, fuck. Shit, I was hoping she's gonna forget. I hope I'm gonna fuck her so good that she's gonna forget about the money and I can get away with like not giving her any money and still having sex with her. And it didn't work, you know. I remember I was trying to do that, see? That's what I'm saying. That's how I look at Lydia too. She's pain in the ass. I don't even wanna pay if I'm gonna take her out on the first day, I don't think that she deserves for me to pay for her. But I'm still gonna do it just because I wanna be nice. And also because I wanna be nice, even though she deserves that punishment, you know, and I can probably do it with her, and she told me that she's been giving men money or some people money for no reason. So I'm thinking that I can write her like that. But I'm not gonna be writing her like that, even if I could. Just simply because I want my freedoms. And I don't wanna I just don't wanna destroy that woman, really. I don't wanna destroy her. I don't wanna destroy her. Even though she was making me angry, but I kind of have mercy on her. So I'm definitely like, I definitely want to work and make my own money. You know? I don't even want to be in the position where, you know, women do everything for me and I don't do nothing. Like, I don't even want it. Especially with somebody like this. Because that's like, it's like me exploiting somebody. I don't want to do that like that with her. I don't want to do it. So, but because in the end of the day, it's not gonna be happy relationship if I'm gonna destroy her like this. I don't want to do it, but that's why, you know, I'm gonna be really careful if I would want to be like serious with women like that, because she's a pain in the ass. It's gonna be a lot of pain, and I'm not, and that's why, you know, I was not that fastened to get into relationship with her like seriously. And I stayed with Alima because Alima is like less pain, you know. With her it's like less passion, but it's also less pain. It's more stability, more freedom, and she's a good person, so it's like I just didn't want to fuck it up. She's a pleasant person, you know, very pleasant, understanding, easy to deal with. She's not pain in the ass. She's just high maintenance, but you know. Not pain in the ass, at least. And now I'm being in separation from her. Against my will. I mean, I kind of made that decision because at the time I felt like I'm gonna go crazy if I'm gonna stay in Ohio. And then I learned how to deal with, but I had to pay the price of no woman, not much sex, you know, all by myself, no friends. I don't regret my decision because there are some perks, but I still want to get the fuck out of here. And people say no matter where you go, things gonna be the same. I don't agree, because California is still less stressful than Ohio. It's still less stressful and better climate and it's more chill. So it's not really the same thing. It's a little different, I would say. And things could have been better, you know, if I wouldn't be going everywhere where people are trying to fix me and care about what's wrong with me. If I wouldn't have that problem, things would have been better. If I had more freedoms and I just fucking go to work. I wish I can do just that, but there's always bullshit and I'm tired of it. Even with my fucking accounting, the program is not working right. And people say, oh, it's your fault, ta-ta-ta. No, there's a bunch of BS. For example, like, when I'm going over there, I'm trying to pick the custom date, and I'm trying to do 2021. I can't pick a date. When I put the date, it gives me mistake. So little things like that. Cannot get a normal job. I hear people always talking about me. There are cameras everywhere I go, and before it was not like that. So it's like, fuck. I want my freedoms back. My mom is treating me like I'm an alcoholic, while other people are drinking way more than me and nobody gives a shit. What the fuck? It's too much bullshit. It's too much bullshit. I'm tired of it. I want my freedoms back. And before I get my freedoms back, I want nothing else. I want no fucking relationship, nothing. Freedom comes first. And if whatever woman's gonna give me freedom, I just have to jump on her. So that's it. Because without freedom, I want nothing. That's it. Rant over. Thanks for watching. Well, 37 minutes, the same as my age. Like, subscribe, share this video. And I'm out. It's time for me to go to sleep. Later, guys.